Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of my tutorial video channel. This is part 6 of marginal costing, profit planning and decision making. In this video, I will solve one problem on marginal costing by using the formulae of marginal costing, which I have already discussed in my previous videos on marginal costing, profit planning and decision making. For a quick recap, let us see what are the formulae that are used in marginal costing technique. So, marginal costing formulae. Number 1, sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution. Number 2, contribution minus fixed cost is equal to profit. That is, if contribution is more than fixed cost, then it is profit, and if contribution is less than fixed cost, it is loss. So it can be profit or loss. Number 3, profit volume ratio, also known as PV ratio, is equal to contribution divided by sales into 100. This is expressed as percentage of sales. So we multiply by 100. Number 4, BEP, that is break even point. Now break even point is that point where the firm is neither earning any profit nor incurring any loss. This means total sales revenue of the firm is exactly equal to the total cost of sales. A BEP can be of two types, that is, it can be in terms of units produced and sold to break even, and the other is the dollar value of sales to reach break even. So when it is in terms of units or quantity, the formula is fixed cost by contribution per unit and BEP in value, that is the sales value, is equal to fixed cost divided by PV ratio. And number 5, margin of safety MS is equal to total sales minus BEP sales or profit divided by PV ratio. So these are the formulae that are used to solve problems on marginal costing, and I shall use the relevant formulae to solve this problem. Here the data are given. So I am erasing the formulae because I think these formulae are still in your mind, because I have discussed these a number of times in my previous videos. So I am erasing this part so that I can proceed with the solution of the given problem. What is the problem? The data for 2 years are given, year 2020 and year 2021. Here is total sales and in this column is total cost. So total sales in year 2020 is 39 lakh and total cost in the same year, that is 2020, is 34 lakh 80,000, and in year 2021 total sales is 43 lakh and total cost is 37 lakh 60,000. We have to find out the PV ratio and the break-even point. So we start solving this problem. First, part 1. Sales cost in 2 columns and year 2020 and 2021. This is 39 lakh and in 21 43 lakh, and total cost in 2 consecutive years are 34 80,000 and 37 60,000. So we first compute the change that has taken place in between the years. How much is the change? Sales has increased by 4 lakhs and total cost has increased by 280,000. This means this change in cost, that is increase in cost, has happened due to increase in variable cost, because fixed costs are assumed to remain fixed in the number of years, the given 2 years. So the change in total cost has taken place due to change in variable cost. So 280,000 is the change in variable cost and 400,000 is the change in sales. Therefore, variable cost as percentage of sales is equal to 280,000 divided by 400,000, that is 70%. So variable cost is 70% of sales. Now remember the first formula of marginal costing, that is sales minus variable cost is equal to contribution. Therefore, sales is equal to variable cost plus contribution. So if sales is 100% and if variable cost is 50%, then contribution must be 50%. Both of them will make the total sales of 100%. So if it is 60%, then this will be 40%. If this is 40%, then this will be 60%, and so on. This means variable cost and contribution are complementary to each other, and they together make the total sales, that is 100%. Here, variable cost is 70% of sales. Therefore, we can conclude that contribution as percentage of sales is equal to 100% minus 70% is equal to 30%. Correct? Variable cost and contribution are complementary to each other and they together make the sales. This means contribution and variable cost are the two constituents of sales. Since variable cost is 70% of sales, the contribution is 100 minus 70, that is 30% of sales. This means PV ratio, which is contribution by sales C by S, is equal to 30%. Correct? So we have solved the first part of this problem. That is, PV ratio of the firm is 30% of sales. Now let us solve part 2. This is solution 2, part 2. We have to find out the break-even point. Now, as I have told you earlier, that break-even point can be either in terms of units and in terms of value, that is dollar value or sales value. Here we cannot find out the break-even point in terms of units because the problem is silent about the number of units produced and sold in either year. So BEP in terms of units cannot be computed due to paucity of data. But we can find out BEP in terms of sales value or dollar value because we know the PV ratio, and although fixed cost is not directly given in this data, we have to find out the fixed cost. The variable cost in year 2020, variable cost is equal to 70% of sales, that is 39 lakh. Correct? In year 2020, variable cost is 70% of total sales, that is 39 lakhs. So we get it 27,30,000 is equal to 27,30,000. This is the total variable cost in year 2020. And the total cost is given 34,80,000. Total cost is equal to 34,80,000. And variable cost is 27,30,000, and we know variable cost plus fixed cost is total cost. So we deduct variable cost from total cost. And we get fixed cost. That is 750,000. 750,000 is the fixed cost in year 2020, and certainly in year 2021 the amount of fixed cost will remain 750,000 because it is assumed that fixed cost remains unchanged. So now we are in a position to find out the BEP, break-even point, in sales value. That is fixed cost by PV ratio. That is 750,000 divided by how much is PV ratio? 30%. So divided by 30%. 750,000 divided by 30% is the break-even point in sales value. Let's see what it comes to. $25 lakh. So fixed cost of the firm is, the PV is, the break-even point is 25 lakh. So solution of part 2 is also complete. Correct? Data for 2 years are given. Data of a firm for 2 consecutive years, 2020 and 2021. This is sales figures and total cost figures. We have to find out the break-even PV ratio in number 1, and in number 2 we have to find out the break-even point. First we have calculated the change that has taken place in 2020 relative to 2021 relative to 2020. And the change in sales is 4 lakhs, change in cost is 280,000. Therefore, variable cost as percentage of sales is 280,000 divided by 400,000, that is 70%. Why? Because total cost change is due to change in variable cost only, fixed cost remains fixed. So change in fixed cost is 0. So 70% is the variable cost as percentage of sales. And we know contribution and variable cost are complementary to each other, and they together make sales, that is 100%. So if variable cost is 50%, then contribution will be 50%. If variable cost is 60%, contribution will be 40%. Okay? Nevertheless, both of them will be 100%. Total will be 100%. So variable cost is 70% of sales. Therefore, contribution as percentage of sales is 100 minus 100% minus 70%, that is 30%. So PV ratio, which is contribution by sales, is 30%. So here we complete solution 1. And in solution 2, problem number 2, we have to find out the break-even point. Here we are not in a position to find out the break-even point in terms of units, because the problem is absolutely silent about the number of units produced and sold in any year. There is no way we can find out the break-even point in units or in quantity. But we can certainly find out the break-even point in terms of sales value or dollar value. Because PV ratio we have already calculated, and fixed cost we shall calculate from the given data. How? Variable cost is given, it is 70% of sales. Therefore, in year 2020, the variable cost is 70% of 39 lakh. So it comes to 30,000. So variable cost in year 2020 is 30,000. And what is the total cost? 80,000. So we deduct variable cost from total cost and find out the fixed cost, which is 750,000. Fixed cost is 750,000 in year 2020, and in year 2021 it will be 750,000 because fixed cost is assumed to remain unchanged. So PV ratio in terms of sales value is fixed cost by PV ratio. So 750,000 divided by 30%, which comes to 25 lakhs. So break-even point in money value is 25 lakhs. That is, the firms has to make a sales of 25 lakhs in order to reach break-even point. Correct? So both the parts of the problem are solved. I believe this is well understood by you. Still, should you have any doubt in your mind, if you have any query, if you have any problem, if you have any question, if you think any particular point needs further clarification or explanation, please feel comfortable to let me know through the comment section. I shall be more than glad to respond to all the relevant queries. And if you think this video is useful for you, please do share the video with your friends, brothers, sisters and colleagues, so that they can also derive benefit by watching this video. And I would also request you to like and subscribe my video, my channel. And finally, thank you very much for watching this video. Stay well and goodbye.